Hello, everyone, and welcome. Our theme this month is talking about passion and purpose. And we are very privileged and honored to have with us today Helen Hirsch Spence from Top 60 Over 60. Welcome, Helen.
Hi, Charlotte.
Helen is based in Canada and has been in the education field for over 30 years and more recently served on many boards. And in her more mature years, shall we call them, she decided to start a company called Top 60 Over 60. It is a beautiful niche. It's what the world needs at this time. Helen, thank you and welcome to our little interview today. We would like to ask you, how did you know that this was going to be your passion?
Good question. I can honestly say I didn't know it would be my passion. It more or less fell on my doorstep because I myself was experiencing ageism at a point in my life when I felt still extremely vital, energetic, and contributing to society in many ways, not only on boards, but mentorship and a number of other, in other capacities. So I didn't know that it was my passion until I explored it. And that's when I realized that social entrepreneurship was for me. And you mentioned that I had been in education. I was fortunate enough to have good relationships with so many of my students in the past. And because that was an ongoing relationship, and I'm such a strong believer in that interdependence and intergenerational collaboration, I remained in touch with many of them. And it was one student, Somia, who said, Mrs. Spence, you should be on our advisory. And it had to do with social impact and youth investment. And I said, sure. And through her, I became exposed to this whole new world that I didn't understand or know anything about, simply because it didn't exist when I was exploring career options myself. And through that, I started taking courses in social enterprise, social entrepreneurship, mostly online, at the same time as I was doing a lot of board work. And I just fell in love with that whole area and realized that age and aging was a very misunderstood process, let's put it that way, and that we were devoured by myths that dictated what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to look, and therefore is very misleading. And until that changes, older people are going to be completely disadvantaged, despite the fact that they have the fastest growing population globally. And so I decided to look more and more into it and try and figure out what it was that I was interested in. And I realized that, I was always dedicated to trying to unlock the potential of young people and my staff. And so why not extend that now to an older population and see how I might be able to help older adults either transition to the next stage of their life. And by older, I mean anybody really, but maybe 50 plus into the next stage of life. And also to help them overcome their self-directed ageist beliefs that were limiting their potential and therefore, not exploring the possibilities that they really have in front of them. Because, security, financial security in older age, when people are getting, are having the opportunity to live longer and longer, they need to finance themselves because not many people have pensions or retirement savings. So we can't leave that market out. We need to help them reskill, upskill, relearn, whatever the terminology you want to use, in order to keep them current, confident, agile, mentally active, and especially socially engaged. So I created Top 60 Over 60.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And if it wasn't for you having an open mind, you would not have stepped into this. So So that's really wonderful example of leading by example.
Well, you know, I just want, by leading by example, I have to say that I created this Top 60 as a social enterprise. It's for profit, it isn't a nonprofit, because I really believe in role modeling what I'm advocating for other people to do. So I really believe that, you know, in your 50s and 60s and 70s, you can become an entrepreneur and you can be successful.
For
So
sure.
once again, that's what I'm trying to do.
And what does this passion feed in your life?
Well, I think it's indisputable that, you know, we all need meaning and purpose in our lives. And I think that many times throughout our lives we're confined to doing something that we have to do for economic reasons or because we have family or loved ones who depend on us. And so therefore we don't necessarily always explore what it is we really want to do. You know, our purpose is driven by other factors. But as you get older, you have more and more experience, and experience has been shown by research to really trump knowledge and skill. So you combine your knowledge with experience, and you can put any number of opportunities together. And I really see it as a challenge to figure out what it is that you want to do. But what it does is it gives you an opportunity to explore what your values are, what your purpose in life is, and it gives you meaning. So everybody, I think, at later stages in particular, starts thinking about these things and realize that they need to contribute meaningfully. And for me, this is one way in which I can move outside, you know, specific family opportunities, you know, to be with children or grandchildren or other family members, but to contribute in other ways, because I offer courses to older adults through meetups and whatnot that they don't have to pay for, which is sort of subsidized by some of the paying activities that I'm engaged in. So it gives me a sense of purpose. And because I'm passionate about it, it's not work. It's simple, you
That's
know, it
beautiful. And
drives
that's
me.
key. Yeah. Keeping it simple, but because it's full of with passion.
Yeah.
What would you advise anyone else stepping into passion and purpose, possibly for the first time or a new second time?
Or a third time or a fourth time, because
Yes.
today's world, I think the recent statistics I saw is that young people are going to have 37 different career changes throughout their life. So I think that we shouldn't limit ourselves to first, second, or third acts. However, for my generation, it certainly would be the case. I think the key is to be open-minded, let things come to you, dream big, take some action towards that dream or that goal, and then let go a bit and see what you are attracted to and what is attracted to you. I mean, you have to really get outside your comfort zone. Everything that I've done in order to make this a reality has been extraordinarily difficult for me. I hate putting myself out there. I don't want to be a social presence. I didn't at first want to write anything or blog or do anything. It was so foreign to me, because in my generation, you didn't self-promote. Others promoted you. And it's a different world we live in. So learning everything from website development to MailChimp to using social media. I mean, I see it all as an opportunity just to learn and to expand my understanding and knowledge, make new relationships through people that I need or have to employ. It's really about opening up and letting go of your past beliefs. But one thing I think you really do need to keep in mind are what your values are, what your fundamental beliefs are, and let them guide you. And I had certain criteria for what I wanted to do, and they were really quite simple. That was to be continuing to learn, to contribute to others' lives, to only work with positive people and in positive situations, enjoy myself. But essentially it had to do with really lifelong learning, long life learning, contributing meaningfully and enjoying, having positive experiences.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Helen. I will put your website link in the bottom of this if anybody's watching. And I met you because I came across something you had written. And keep writing. You have so much value in what you put out there, and your New Look website is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Thank you for participating and getting up quite early to be part of this with our time zone differences and putting yourself out there. You deserve it. Hashtag you deserve it, Helen.
Thank you, Charlotte. It's been a pleasure meeting you and working with you on a variety of different levels. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Thank you.